All right, there you go. It's sent to you. Pull that shit up. Because this is it. We're starting. This is the first episode. I appreciate you coming down for being the first guest. Jim.
Don't mention it, Omero.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. So, yeah, man, I mean, I think I just wanted to do this for an excuse to talk with people, you know, people that I admire, that I've worked with, and just wanted to get to know and talk about some crazy stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was kind of curious about that. Like, is there a format you're going for? Or?
Nah, man. I mean, I just wanted to talk, you know, like I hear all these other podcasts and, you know, sometimes they're either really, you know, structured or, you know, even if it's video, the more loose, there's always something going on, you know, where every time you come in, you can expect something. Not this one. We're just diving in, man.
Right on. I like it.
Know,
Seat of our pants.
That's right. That's right. Don't forget to get that mic nice and close.
Yeah.
Be intimate. There you go.
Hello, microphone.
That's right. Nice and low. So, yeah, man, I mean, I just wanted to talk about, hold on, I have the hair. There you go. We're good. So, 2019, dude. How was the year for you?
Yeah, ups and downs. New job, weirdness.
Yeah. Weirdness. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I mean, for me, it was full of really, really big highs and, you know, the worst lows. At least it feels, you know, like it was. You know, it was crazy, dude.
I didn't have to go to any funerals this year, so that's a plus.
That's good.
It's good for me.
It's definitely good. It's definitely good. Yeah, man, it was weird. I just started off the year with 2018 anxiousness and depression. Weighed about 25, 30 pounds heavier, and it just wasn't good. And yeah, I like that part of 2019 where, you know, it was like the beginning of the movie where you were in your lowest, you know, where the hero's at his lowest. I see everything in movies, man. It's terrible. And throughout the year, definitely didn't reach a good finale.
Life
but
is a 3-act structure.
I like 5-act structures, man. If you know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's the more the Harmon school.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something about it where, you know, if the writing is good, you can do either or. They're both basically the same thing, except like the 3-act structure, the second act is divided, you know. And then the reason why I like it is because if it's good writing, you can have a decent prologue and epilogue. You know, like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's one thing I really loved about that one is it had a really nice epilogue. But that's one thing I didn't like about 2019, man, was a lot of the stuff that came out. Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff everywhere. We all found out that we can't talk about politics anymore without somebody getting violent.
Apparently.
Or thanks to the way social media is, like, instead of hearing somebody else's opinion, we can block that person.
Yeah.
And live in our bubble and think that we're more and more sane.
Yeah. That's one thing I wanted to do with this, though, is, you know, talk with people that that disagree, you know, with either myself or I disagree with them. I think it's important to get those opinions out, man. And, you know, it's okay. You don't have to take it personally. You know, it's just differing opinions.
Exactly. It's not an attack on somebody. It's an exchanging of ideas.
I'd like to think so. But I don't know, man. Some people just take things way too personally.
Oh, yeah.
You know. But that's one thing I learned about myself just recently. Learning a fuck ton about just myself the past month, you know. And like I started the year, I don't know, man. When I grew up, I was never too much of a fearful person. And then like high school, college, really ambitious, like crazy. And I don't know, I think honestly, it's just getting complacent with, you know, work and personal stuff.
Oh, I took a gap. Like I went almost 10 years between high school and college. So. Yeah. I get the complacent feeling. It's very easy to get into that.
It's terrible, man. And I don't know if it's that coupled with, you know, the need to, you know, be financially, you know, well off, at least enough, Where
that's all it is. I mean,
yeah.
I said this recently. It's like it's the only reason I play the lottery. Like, I don't want to do anything crazy. I just want my decisions to not have to be monetarily based. Like,
Sure.
I don't want to have to be forced to do something because I've got to pay rent.
Like, oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah, like if I want to spend, if I want to go to Costa Rica for 2 weeks and learn how to play volleyball, like it would be cool to be able to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd love to do that. I mean, my thing is to again, like you said, travel. That's a big thing that I've wanted to do. But I know I have a couple of friends that do that. But I think that they just plan it and they make it like, you know, something like this where you make it a thing by focusing on it. Their main thing is doing that with travel.
See, that's my big thing though, is like I don't like going places by myself. Like,
yeah,
I like if I'm going on a trip or a road trip or even the movies, like I would like to have somebody else there because everybody sees things differently. You gotta have that bouncing board of just like, I'm experiencing it this way. Is somebody else experiencing it this way?
Yeah.
Or am I crazy? Because, I mean, I can get a singular experience off some little squares of paper in my apartment if I try hard enough.
Sure. Oh, what?
Yeah, and that's just my journey that
Yeah.
you can't really share with anybody.
Sure.
So when you have the opportunity, it's nice to get other perspectives that seeing the same thing you are.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, that's one thing that I'd like to do this year is just getting to know people more. Because, I mean, if you could put like a level on, you know, different attributes about yourself when it comes to me talking, especially with other people, once you get in the rhythm, I think it's fairly simple. But breaking into that, getting to know people, new people, meeting new people, that's always been tough. I don't know, unless the situation could call for it. Like if you're at an event, it's almost like a license to be like, oh, I can say, oh, this concert, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
or a party. It's just like,
a party. Yeah.
Our only other option is to get blackout drunk and embarrass ourselves. So might as well meet some new people.
Why not? Why not? Absolutely.
Either that, or if you ever go to one of those parties where everyone knows each other's but see each other like once a year, it's just like, so yeah, I did this, and this. How you doing? Comparing. What else are you going to talk about?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, little one's getting big there.
Oh man, so many people are having kids.
Oh, I'm in my 30s, man. The majority. I'm the rare exception of my high school class that does not have kids or has been married.
I mean,
legitimately.
From the kids' point, yeah. You and me both, man. You and me both. And it's not that I don't want them, but I'm not feeling them right now. You know, I want to do so much. And
so many people just do it because it's like the thing that they need to do, or they feel it's an accessory, or this is my milestone for this part. Like, they don't really like it's you know, it's a handbag.
Sure, yeah, a thing, a status, you mean?
Yeah, that you can just make sure they end up in therapy the rest of their life if you treat them too much like a handbag.
I gotta tell you, man. I mean, I don't think my childhood was crazy. It was, I think, rather normal. Middle class, maybe even lower, but you know, shit, things get serious real quick when you grow up. It's nuts, man. So I mean, for the most part, you had a good 2019.
I'm still alive.
That's a good way to look at it.
I saw the true colors of a lot of people. You're catching me in a weird week. I recently had an existential crisis.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like last week, I totally just like had a mental breakdown. Like,
oh shit!
Yeah. And I've just been slowly repiecing myself together through the use of substances and conversations and movies.
I'm the same way, man. Big event happened to me like 3 years ago, and ever since then, it's been a clusterfuck. From like a career perspective, personal perspective, you know, it's nuts. And I got to admit now, I don't see how the people I talk to can stand me right now. Just because, you know, I feel like, at least, you know, to myself, it's been tough to stay focused.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
I've just gotten really good at being on autopilot.
That's what I hate, though. I'm with you. Yeah. That's tough to get out of.
Yeah. I kind of got self-aware of it last weekend. Have you watched The Watchmen yet?
Yeah.
The HBO series.
Yeah, I'm only like 5 episodes in.
Dude.
I don't know,
You've
man.
got to finish it.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to talk to you
I
about.
spent all day Saturday watching the entire series with a mountain of ketamine.
Oh my God. That must have been an experience.
Oh my God. It was already a really trippy series in and of itself. But when you add that to it, it's just like you get meaning upon meaning. Like, because you've read the comics, right?
I've read the graphic novel, sure.
All the like little nuance stuff that they bring in there, like the articles and the biographies going back to the history, they dive into that deep. Like the first few episodes are just kind of setting it up for everybody. So even if you haven't seen it, you can come into it, and then they just jump in, and you're seeing Hooded Justice stuff, and like it gets so deep and great, especially when the Dr. Manhattan stuff starts coming out.
Okay, because I need to. I don't know, man. I get on this thing where I start watching something, and I think because of hype, there's expectation, and I mean that's on me, sure. But I'll start watching it, and I really love the first 2 episodes of The Watchmen, but after that, I don't know what it is. Whether it's the writing or me just being in a weird mood. It was tough for me to get into. It was tough.
I had the exact opposite. Like I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, okay, I kind of see what they're doing, but I'm not really into it. But then like episode 3 or 4, it was just like, all right, I'm sold. I'm watching the rest of this. There's nothing else I'm doing. Like, no, just keep playing it.
Yeah.
We're calling takeout. No, we're not leaving the apartment. Let's just.
Wow.
It was probably my favorite TV show this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you know which one was mine? I have a list. It's crazy. Like in that email.
The Witcher? No.
Don't fucking start with me, man. We're going to end the show with that shit because I got some words.
I have no dog in that race. I haven't watched it. It's been so polarizing. I'm like.
It's I don't know, man. I'm glad people liked it. I really am. And I'm hopeful that they do a second season because there is something there. I already love the books and I already love the game. The games. But definitely the third one, because that's the one everyone plays. They just released that a little while ago, like 3 years or something, 3-4 years.
Yeah, it's like out on everything now.
Yeah, but dude,
I hate to admit this, I've never played a Witcher game.
That's fair.
It's
a tough game. It's a tough game to get into. But once you just start the third game, like you have a Switch. Oh, I mean, come on.
I'm loaded. I have a Switch, a PS4, and an Xbox One.
I'm missing a PS4. I used to have one, but I traded it in for something. I can't remember. I think the Oculus.
Black Friday, I got the PS4 specifically so I get a PSVR with it.
There you go. There you go.
And Blood and Truth is awesome.
Oh, my God.
It messes with your perception of reality a little bit.
That's why I love VR, man. I mean, it's the whole thing where, I'm really hoping that it becomes more popular. They said that they kept selling out the Quest this holiday season. Oh, yeah. And they're selling out of the Rift S, too. I think they're wanting to sell out their stock because they know with the Quest, it can hook up to a PC. It's the best value in VR, man. I mean, they made the Rift S for no reason.
As soon as they can make the battery life larger, that's like its only drawback is you're limited to 2 hours.
Dude, I've gotten 3.
Nice.
I've gotten 3. I think it may depend on the title.
Even with because how long is the Vader game?
Not long, man. I mean, you could play all 4 or 5 parts within 3-4 hours.
Okay.
Which isn't bad.
So you get it on a charge.
Yeah. But that's the problem with me in VR, man. It's just this year I was literally looking for some like really stellar titles, and compared to everything else, what's up?
I didn't get the email.
Man, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was trying to keep up.
No, you're good. You're good. We're veering off.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Follow your lead.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, honestly, that was one thing I was looking forward to is VR this year with the Quest. And there's been some good games, but I hate that there is a price premium. Like you have to pay $40 for a 6-hour experience. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like you could pay $15 and get the same amount of hours with a JRPG on the Switch.
Yeah, but then you also have to think about how much goes into that too. Is like when you do a VR experience,
sure,
you're not just doing things from one perspective. You have to cover everywhere they're going to look. Like people are working on stuff somebody's maybe never going to see, but it has to be there to stay immersive.
I understand, but at the same time, like you can say the same thing about any game. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't pretend to be a VR developer, but in my mind, once you create the 3D space, the space itself is created. You know, I think the hard part would be the mechanics, and then making it so being in a space is engaging. I don't know.
Blood and Truth had a lot. Like I still haven't beaten it. Like, and I've got a good 6 hours or 7 hours.
That's great.
On it. And it's really in depth. It's like a spy thriller.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, and
it's an exclusive.
Yeah, and the gun mechanics are ridiculous. Like, you actually have to pull your sidearm. Like, when you're done, you put your pistol back in your side holster, and when you're out of rounds, you have to grab a clip off your chest by clicking the button and reload it. And you can pick up anything and do anything. Like,
holy shit!
Like, you can grab a bottle and make a Molotov cocktail and throw it at something, or you can, like, shoot somebody's tire out, and as they're flying through the air at you, finish them off. Like,
holy shit! So yeah, I mean, to your point, it's the interactivity. That's the big selling point with that kind of stuff. It's tough, man. I mean, I imagine it's probably difficult.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Ready Player One. Like, that's the end game there. Just give me an Oasis. I will live in it so fast.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, I think that way too, where you want to live in a lore.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I don't know, man.
It just scares me. It's the same reason why I won't play World of Warcraft. Because did you ever see that episode of South Park?
Oh yeah.
That's what I fear I would have been if I'd ever started it. Like, I just would have fused to a chair.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind it though, man. I don't know. Like, that's one thing I want to do in maybe my 30s, or just sometime where, like, I just spend a whole year and that's what I do is just do a long play of a big sim. You know, whether it be World of Warcraft. There was one I was looking at, like, called Star Citizen. It's like the biggest fucking Kickstarter project ever. It's got like $250 million pushing in, and they keep raising more money. And it's like the most intricate. They even have a VR function now, dude, where, you know, it's basically a space game where you do whatever the fuck you want. You can make it so it is a fleet space game where you're a general or whatever in charge of all these fleets, and then you get to tell them where to go. So in that way, it can be like a god game. But you can also play a soldier or someone in that game where you're piloting those fleets or like a ship. So then it can be a simulation game, or it could be a game where you play an actual person and you just fuck around, be a bounty hunter or whatever. And as far as I know, there are NPCs. But for the most part, it's populated by people, and it's insane. They got some big talent too. Like, I think Mark Hamill is in it or some shit. Like, they have a lot of star power with it just because of the money. It's nuts.
Now, have you ever read Ready Player One?
I want to say I read it before the movie came out.
Good, because they were very, very different. But the guy who wrote that did a second book called Armada.
I haven't read that one.
That one is very close to what you just described.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like the biggest thing is this game that everyone plays, and it's like you can either have a mech suit or be an infantry unit, and it's all drones, like from the standpoint that you're controlling a drone, or you can be like a fighter pilot.
Oh shit!
And it's that's all I'm gonna say, but it gets a little Last Starfighter from there, and it's in a really cool way.
Okay, that's one thing I have started to do more of this year is reading. Like, especially just in like November, December, man. I was never really a reading guy, but this year I really wanted to do, you know, some stuff that was uncomfortable. And I don't know why reading is uncomfortable. At least it was. It's tough to get into for me. You know, once I started though, like I started with Mass Effect, right? Just something. I think it helped to, you know, get in to something that I liked, and it was really good.
When I get hooked in, it's just I've always been a reader. Like, my dad, when I was a kid, like, would throw my book in the fire if I took it on a camping trip. He's like, you're supposed to be going and playing in the woods, like, not reading. I'm just like, I've still done it since then. That was my rebelling at that point.
Yeah, I dig it, man. I dig it. I was always just playing Game Boy.
It was a toss up between the two.
Yeah.
What have you been reading this year?
Well, I did the first book of you know, the whole Mass Effect trilogy thing. It's like a prequel to the first game, which is pretty dope. And then I started doing some Neil Gaiman stuff.
Nice.
I started with his short stories first, and dude, that guy can write. I can see why he's so popular. But, in the short stories, I've read about 8. And my favorite one is still, like, he hit it in his introduction. Like, he talks about it in the beginning where, he doesn't really like doing introductions. And he understands that a lot of people don't even read them. But for those who do, he put one of his favorite short stories in there. And it's called, I want to say, The Wedding Gift. And it's basically about him in real life wanting to write a story as a wedding gift to a couple he knew. And that's what the story's about. And it's beautiful, dude. But it got me. It was heart-wrenching. By the end, I was like, oh, no. It was crazy. And I was looking forward to more of that in the rest of the book. But not that the book is bad or these other short stories aren't good, but you can definitely tell when this guy is inspired or really wants to write versus I have to write. Like anyone else, I feel, any writer or director or anything, they probably feel that way, where I guess one for them is one for me later,
Yeah, well, and when you're doing a compilation like that too, it's just like you're coming at this from so many different styles, like from one to the other. Like it's the great thing and the horrible thing about it. It's going to appeal to a lot of people, but some people are only going to like one and the others not so much. And
yeah.
Like you got to make them different before the people who like bad stuff and don't like good stuff, they exist.
Yeah. No, for sure. And again, not to say that they were bad, but you can tell that he was very experimental. But there were a lot of things this year that weren't experimental, Jim. A lot. And we talked about The Witcher, and that was one of them, man. We're starting it. I don't give a fuck.
Do it.
It's horrible.
Get it out.
It's terrible. Netflix should be embarrassed. The writer and CD Projekt Red should be embarrassed. I mean, they're not, because they're selling more of the game.
Look at half of the things that Netflix are. There's other things they should be more embarrassed about, but still, yeah. Like
I agree.
It hasn't happened already. I mean,
it has totally, but I don't know, man.
Arrested Development.
Whatever happened to that shit? I was so into it the first 4 seasons.
Yeah, because that was when it was like being done properly, and then everyone got famous after it got shut down. And so when they brought it back, they had to like gear to everyone's schedule. So that's why it had that weird storytelling, because they couldn't have everybody in the same room at the same time most of the time.
That makes absolute sense.
So their solution was to just cover the same time period from different characters' point of view, so they can make it work.
I'm all down for working within limitations, because in my mind, a lot of people's work thrive under that kind of pressure. But whenever you have studio meddling, it doesn't really work. And to me, I think the last season of Arrested Development.
Well, they did one after that was more like the original that I liked a lot better.
Right. The newer one.
Yeah.
The
newest one is back towards where they should be.
Yeah.
But,
I can dig
they
it.
still got to keep all that crap from last season canon. So it's just like,
fucking canon, man. Talk about that. Well, I mean, what did you think about the new Star Wars?
I liked it.
Yeah.
But I was kind of high.
As we are all.
And I'm nostalgic. Like, the way I've described it to people is like, did you like Force Awakens?
Yeah, oh sure.
Did it bother you of how much it was like A New Hope?
No. But it was.
Yeah, it was. And that's what I loved about it. Like that.
Unforgivingly so.
That's what you go there for. I mean, like, I want that.
Well,
everyone was so mad at the prequels because it wasn't a rehash of A New Hope.
You think?
Yeah, plus you had to introduce it to a new generation. It's like a way of doing a reboot without doing a reboot.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand it, but at the same time, that is why I love The Last Jedi. Fuck all you that don't. I don't care. I'm laying it down, man. It's the best writing in the series.
I'm not going to tell everybody where I actually have a plan. They're all going to think they're going to die at the point where the guy has to start a freaking mutiny. Like,
it's a coup, man. It's a coup. I loved it, dude. I loved it. I mean, from a thematic standpoint, I thought it was just spot on, because ever since I was a kid, I watched the prequels, and I was a kid, so I have a bias. Sue me. They were okay. Knowing that, I rewatched them really recently, and they're fine. Cheesy, Sure. Cringy, definitely.
I will always have issues with the first two.
That's fine. That's fine. Dude, that's fair. That's fair. Totally. And just like The Force Awakens and Rise of the Skywalker, I feel like they have the same kind of issues. But one thing I loved about The Last Jedi was it basically took all of those tropes and just said, fuck all of it. I loved it. I love it. I love that, you know, it subverts what you're expecting, you know. I love every bit of that because, you know, I don't know, I'm not an intimate fan, so I have a bias there. But I've watched all the movies, and I don't have the attachment that a lot of people do. I've watched the Clone Wars. To me, the Clone Wars, the show, next to The Last Jedi, the best writing. There's just no competition.
How about the end of that Mandalorian?
I haven't watched the end.
Oh my God, you haven't watched the end? Yes. What is wrong with you?
I'm like episode 4.
I was about to give away something so huge, but they bring something Clone Wars into it. Like you get to see something in live action that has only ever been animated.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't wait to check it out because I love The Mandalorian.
Yeah, it was also in Rebels.
Okay.
That's
one thing I have to watch too.
Rebels was super cheesy.
Yeah.
But for all the cheese, there was a couple episodes that were so mind-numbingly awesome that just like jaw drop fanboyed out. Like,
oh my God.
I think it's the season finale of the second season. Like Darth Maul shows back up.
Oh my God.
And then Ahsoka fights Vader. Like a grown-up Ahsoka's there and fights Vader, knowing who Vader is.
Oh my God. Like knowing that it's, you know.
Yeah. And so, but then just the veiled one-liners as they fight, it's so epic. And
I'm all about it, man. I'm all about it. I love the universe. You know, I love the lore, and I'm glad people are enjoying the movies. Because I mean, even if I don't enjoy them fully, or if I have problems with it, like The Witcher, I have issues. You know, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't go on. It doesn't mean I'm mad that people like it. You know, I think some people do feel that way. But my issues are always in the writing, man. Like, I don't care if, you know, it looks a certain way or if the cinematography isn't as best as it could be or the casting isn't right or anything like that. But in my mind, whenever you do writing for video games or movies or anything, books, short stories, you can always tell when it is for the worst reason to make anything. Money. Horrid. Embarrassing.
It's the difference between the last Ghostbusters we got and the Ghostbusters we're about to get.
I really hope so. Because that last one, again, I didn't have as much of a problem with. I thought it was.
I hated that so much. Like, just from a writing standpoint, there's
I agree.
5 jokes about soup. 5.
Well, that's my biggest problem with Paul Feig. I think that's the director's name. My big issue with him and with Disney, to be honest. Yeah, Disney, get your shit together. They can have some really stellar writing and some really good IP. New IP even. Because if we think about it, they're one of the few, Marvel aside, that really try to push new IP. Like with Zootopia and all that. And I love that. But the worst part of it, and one of my worst movies of this year, Aladdin, really didn't kill me that it was a remake. I really could care less. But it was safe. And it was like trying to push this, you know, very obvious feminist culture. Not that I'm against any of that and whatever. You know, I respect women. I'm cool with that. But at the same time, when all you're doing in a story is pushing an agenda like that, you're not doing the story any favors. I have friends that, you know, talk about how they love Jasmine and, you know, they love that she had her own song, which is my song of the year, dude. Like,
I don't think I've heard it. Like, I watched like 20 minutes of that movie.
Oh man.
I heard Will Smith do His Friend Like Me, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do without this. My friend's daughter was watching it. I'm like, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go out downstairs.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think if you do give it another watch, just watch maybe about halfway just to hear her song, because I am never going to let anyone from Disney forget that. It was hilarious. It was so unsubtle. It's called Speechless, right? And the whole time, Jasmine.
Metaphor.
Dude, this prissy little bitch. I'm sorry. Let's just say, given the story that we're told, she doesn't earn anything she wants. She just says she wants it, and at the end she gets it because she's, in Disney's eyes, a woman, and she deserves it, and she doesn't have to work for anything. Who needs to do that?
Isn't that like the Instagram fairy tale?
I hate it so fucking much. That's what the whole thing's about. It's
She's just an influencer, man. Just
I
calm
hate it.
down.
I hate it. I can't stand it. But the song is just brilliant because it's just so funny. I can't stop smiling when I listen to it. I'll listen to it when I'm running, like working out, just because it's so silly. I can't get over it, man. Yeah, it's meme worthy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's good that you've redirected something you hate like that.
Hey, man, life's too short. You don't have to stress.
Feed into your hate.
Yeah, lean into that shit.
Good.
Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. What about yourself? Did you enjoy? Did you enjoy a lot of the stuff that came out? A lot of good games.
A lot of good games. I got back into gaming a little bit, and I didn't see near as much as what I wanted to see.
There's a lot of shit came out, man.
Yeah. Was it Disaster Artist this year, or was that last year?
That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's how long it's like I'm still stuck in.
Time just goes too fast. Dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I wanted to see. Like I missed Gemini Man. I wanted to see that in 3D.
Whoa, with Will Smith.
Yeah, because they actually shot all that in 3D. Like we did the cameras for it. Like it was like this crazy rig where it was 2 custom M's with a 2-way mirror, like a teleprompter mirror.
Yeah.
And since it was actually shot to do it, I'm like, yeah, and it's Angley. Like that would actually be something worth going to a 3D IMAX for because it would probably be amazingly gorgeous.
Well, I mean, if it's made for that kind of thing, I'm all about it. Mm-hmm. I think for me, it's kind of like. It's tough, man. It's tough. I haven't seen the movie, but I have a bone to pick with Ang Lee. He is the most inconsistent director.
Yeah, and
What the hell is this guy?
It's so slow. Sometimes, like some of his movies, it's just like there's, you hold on to a shot, to like because something dramatic just happened. There's a reason. You want everyone to think about what just happened.
Sure.
It feels like sometimes he just does it because like, oh, this is pretty. This will buy me 10 minutes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Just trying to pad.
Yeah, or it's like a haiku to where like because he put this long boring part in the beginning, he's got to balance it out with the long boring part towards the end.
Ugh, that's no fun. Oh man.
I mean, he destroyed the Hulk. Like,
well, I watched that when I was younger, and it's not that I didn't like it, but I thought it was odd.
It was odd, and like I loved the whole comic pain thing, and no one's been able to do that since because he just like everyone's like, oh, he proved that doesn't work, but like that's not what made that movie bad. It was
writing.
Yeah, it was the writing and the pacing, like
direction as well. Like there was no real vision. I feel there were.
Yeah, well, and it's one of those things where you're taking a comic book property and you have access to this library of lore and characters, and you come up with these weird genetic dogs, and that's really the only that besides actually that's about it.
Yeah I'm with you, man. It's tough. It's hard. Like just doing some studying and some writing myself, like I don't know, man. It's like a puzzle that is improvised and ever changing, and the pieces of that puzzle also change. It's probably one of the harder things to do.
Yeah. I'll just talk about all the things I wanted to see in 2019.
Let's do it.
Like The Lighthouse, really wanted to see that.
Just watched that.
How was it?
I thought it was great, but
the trailer was super intense. Like,
well, I want to say you. I mean, obviously, going blind. It's the best way to go anywhere to see anything or to feel it or experience anything.
I just feel like it's a black and white version of that speech from Jaws. Like it's dead like a doll's eyes. Like it was just like that feeling and tone for 2 hours.
You can put it that way. It's the guy that did The Witch. You watched that movie?
Nope.
All right, I would watch that one first because that, in my mind, is a more straightforward story. This one is one where it is all about symbolism and, through thematic character arcs. It's very strange because I don't want to I don't want to tell you too much. I'm just trying. I'll describe it. How about that? So like if you could take David Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so just think of a David Lynch movie
Mm-hmm.
and think of it being a little more cohesive, because for me, he takes everything in such a cerebral way where you really have to, it's all about self-interpretation. Mm-hmm. This one, in my mind, is not so much about you making the interpretation. It's more about analyzing what the director is trying to say. Cerebral. I didn't expect it to be as such. Not at all. Not at all. It was good.
Nice.
The same thing with Uncut Gems. Did you see that?
I really want to see Uncut Gems. All the trailers look amazing for that.
I liked it.
And everyone keeps talking about he needs to get an award, and like no one ever says Adam Sandler needs an award, like ever.
Yeah. I enjoyed his performance, man. I really did. I thought it was splendid. Splendid. And the movie itself, like on another level, but that's one thing I learned about myself this year too. Like, I'm a little bitch, dude. I get not offended, but it's easy for me to get almost mildly triggered. So something happens in the movie and it's a little personal, at least for me, because of what I've been through this year and the year before. Relationships, man. What the fuck, right? What's that about? It's crazy.
That's another podcast.
It's another. I'm just going to trickle it out. I'm going to tell you now, like, these guys will learn a little bit about me every other episode. But yeah, man, something happens in that movie and a couple of others where I was like almost taken out, but then something happens. And even though I wouldn't do that in that scenario, it's life, man. And life is fucking complicated. No one told me growing up how complicated it would be, dude. Did they let you know?
No. Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
My parents divorced when I was 2, so
oh, shit,
I had to I saw the fights at a young age.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then but that too is another podcast. We're gonna keep this part light.
I understand,
Talking
man.
about movies and games.
Bro. We'll get deep cuts. Trickle it out, man.
I just put all this back together.
Oh, okay. We don't want to unravel.
Not yet. No. It's not that kind of podcast. At least I don't think so, unless that's what you're shooting for.
Well, man, for me, it's all about staying organic.
Yeah.
If you ended up wanting to talk about that kind of stuff, I ain't gonna say no. If I do, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to everyone listening, because I don't mind talking about it. It's tough to find people to talk to or to be able to, that's one thing I learned about, like, depression and shit. I don't think I was ever really depressed. Anxious, fuck yeah. But the only thing that's ever really gotten to me, it's tough to find people to talk to and feel that you're being listened to without being judged or anything like that.
Well, it's not even judged. It's like, part of it is like everyone wants to like help, which is, great and everything, but sometimes that almost like just makes it worse, like more aggravated.
Sure.
It's like, appreciate the effort, but I'm just working some stuff out. Like,
yeah.
I don't need a bunch of Gandhi quotes right now. Like,
stay off Facebook.
Yeah. Just like, because recently I took a vacation from social media and was just like look, I'm not gonna hurt myself. There's nothing bad going on. Please leave me alone. Like, I don't even mean anybody. I want to be left alone. And I got 3 messages like immediately. I was like, you totally missed the nature of what I'm saying there.
Yeah. Some people would think that would take that differently, and that's what's like you say. It's like, you can even express, I just want to be left alone right now. And people are like, are you okay? You good? You want to talk?
Let me give you more attention.
Yeah. It's wild, man. It's wild, but I dig it. It's just something to get through. But again, anxious. That's one thing that I think I overcame a good bit. Like, again, it's just been a weird past 3 years.
Ever since my teenage years, I haven't really had a problem with anxiety, and I don't really know why.
Really?
I can't quite place it.
I think I understand what you're saying. Is there anything left?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for it. But the thing is, for me, is like,
If it's brown, poke it down.
if it's brown, poke it down. Nice. What were we talking about? Damn it, it's already working. Well, dude, like I was never really an anxious guy either. I think when I was younger in elementary school, I went through one bout, 2-3 months, and it was tough on my parents, I gotta say, where I had, like, they called it separation anxiety, right? And it was just where I just wanted to be near my mom or be home or, away from school or people. It was strange. And they gave me drugs or a drug, and it just put me to sleep. Mm-hmm. And eventually I decided to stop taking it. And this is like when I was maybe 8 or 9. And, I ended up getting over that naturally. No idea what happened. My parents didn't know. I didn't even realize it. My teachers, because it was such a big deal. I ran away from school. Like, I tried to walk home, and it was like 10 miles away, through a highway. And the police officer came out, stopped me, and was like, no, you're not doing this. And it was an ordeal for a while. And I think that people, growing up with me, because I stayed with that same class all the way through graduation, they probably still remember because it was a thing. But ever since then, I really never had an issue. But again, I think it may be some kind of complacency thing, or a thing, not being able to, control. Maybe that's my problem, right? Is trying to control everything. And only lately I've just let it go, man. Just let that shit go. Shit happens.
True that.
Yeah.
Why just got to ride the wave sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know. Do you have that kind of problem, you think?
No, I've always been chaotic in the way I do most things. I'm like the one that's got a messy desk, but I know where everything's at.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's just, there's so many things that can come out of randomness. It's just like, you got to just roll with it.
That's the only way to get through it, man. I understand. I'm with you.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of shady situations.
Yeah,
of the course of my life. Well, I've recreationally, smoked weed for since teenage years.
Sure.
And just regularly, and listened to rock bands in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
And snuck into the house, and I think like every night for like 6 months.
Wow, holy shit!
Because all my friends were older and like they'd already graduated and
Yeah.
go to parties and just.
Like this is in the high school?
Yeah, like there was I was in advanced class. I had to be there at like 6 a.m. on Wednesdays for to do competitive problem solving with a team.
Okay.
And I had been doing a keg stand like an hour earlier at my friend's birthday party at a pool hall downtown.
Holy shit, man!
And he was the bouncer too, so it's just It was an interesting high school experience.
Sounds like it.
I got a lot of stuff out of the way.
Yeah. Wow.
And, yeah, to do that and not have a criminal record, you just kind of gotta suck it up and put your head down.
Absolutely. I'm surprised I don't have one. I'll be for real. There's
some wood around here.
There's a little bit here, man. Knock, knock. It's weird, man, because I can go back and think of very cringy and very dangerous moments where, why didn't I die? Why didn't I get caught? Or why did I smoke so much?
Well, that's usually because it's 420.
It's going to be a 420 a whole month this year.
Yeah.
Dude. I don't know if I'm ever going to remember. Hopefully this takes off and I can just take that month to myself and then vanish.
My friend of mine, he has something that we were supposed to smoke on 420, and then we forgot about it, and then we're gonna do it on Christmas, and we forgot about it. Then we're gonna do it on our birthday, so we forgot about it.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll hit it again this next year. But it's like a cone, like a raw cone, but it's made out of wax.
Okay.
So it's like the whole cone is probably like $120 worth of. It's just the rolling utensil is made out of concentrated weed.
I see. Wow.
So then you put weed inside of that, and it takes like a few hours to smoke.
Oh my God. That's wild, man. Like there's a moment where I'm good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, like you'll pass out when you get to it. Like, you can't ever smoke too much. Just go to sleep. We gotta eat a bunch of Funyuns.
Funyuns, that's a good one. I do Reese's.
Reese's are nice. You just gotta have that saltiness though, just to keep going. Like,
Yeah.
I can't like a Reese's like have one at the end, just like cap it off.
It's just the sweetness.
Yeah, like it doesn't do anything for hunger. Like if you try to eat a few of them, you're gonna feel horrible about it.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, man, I've had to stay away. That shit has sucked me through college. Like, I think I had like the worst. That was around the time I had the worst diet ever. So I've been trying to stay away. Not through the holidays.
Art school, that's like, yeah, you're designed to eat horribly.
Crazy, dude. It was the heaviest I was ever. It was crazy.
That's where I gained all my weight.
Yeah?
I was like super skinny when I went in there, and I came.
Is that
out,
right?
I came out this size. Yeah.
You were bigger. You've lost a lot of weight, man.
It's not really. I'm still the heaviest I've ever been right now. Actually,
I don't
actually
know.
way more than when I did in school.
No way.
Yeah, some of it's muscles because I have to lift lenses and cameras all day. But
Well, that helps.
Like-
I mean, you look more slender. Because I remember during college, you were like I remember it was like a thing.
yep, and I weigh more now than I did then.
That's muscle. It's got to be, man.
Yeah, because ballpark. How much you think I weigh?
How much do I think?
Yeah.
It's 275.
Way off.
Wait.
Add 50 pounds.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm bad at 325.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Dude, you got it, man. Are you trying to lose some?
I was doing really, really good for a minute, and then I went to Dragon Con
Uh-huh.
and partied for 4 days straight, and just kind of got off my routine. Then holidays came out right after that. I just started it back up. Sodas are the hard part. Like, I was doing really good with no sodas.
It's the toughest. That's why I drink these guys. Or even what you're drinking there, dude, those Zevias. That's like 0 calorie.
Even when I drink those, they just remind me of how much I want a real soda. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Discipline, man.
Take this Febreze water away from me.
Yeah. It's the toughest part, dude, is the discipline. I understand. Like, so what do you do? Do you...
Unsweet tea. Like, I got addicted to Quick Trip's unsweet teas. Like, they have like flavored fruit teas, and the sweet would be way too sweet because these unsweets taste like sweet tea.
It's crazy.
And it's no sugar. And
That's dangerous, man. I don't know about Quick Trip, but...
well, I mean, it's real tea. Like, it's brewed. Like, it's not the stuff out of the soda fountain. It's like in an urn. It's tea. It's brewed.
Yeah.
And with just like some fruit flavorings. It's sugar free.
Okay. I dig it, man. I dig it. I don't know. Like, I found a good rhythm where I've been doing this intermediate fasting. And that probably, and during the week, I go no carb. Low carb, no carb. So, no breads, no sweets. And I try to push myself to combine the two. So I'll fast for 16 to 20 hours. And I'll only give myself a window of 6 to 4 hours to eat. So it's basically one big meal a day, drawn out. And I've been going just meat and veggies, dude. That's the best way that I found to lose weight, even if you don't work out, because it's just calories in, calories out, man. That's it.
I've been doing the opposite of that. I've been doing like micro meals every 4 hours, like doing smaller portions, like still to where by the end of it, I'm not going over like 1,800 calories in a day, which for somebody my size is really low. Like, really shouldn't be that low, but because I break it up like that, I have enough energy to where I never feel really hungry, because I'm just like, I know I'm going to eat in a couple hours. Like, like, I'll eat something. And that's usually the only way I've been effective with it.
No, I dig it, dude. I dig it. They say hunger is good for you, though. Yeah, don't be afraid to be hungry. It's like uncomfortable, right? Like when you're working out, you want to be uncomfortable. That's where the change comes from.
Yeah, I've just always thought like that when you get that hungry, like your body goes into starvation mode in a way, and like the next thing you eat, like it automatically like stores.
Nah, bro, not at all. I from what I understand, it's the opposite. It's the complete opposite, because, it's just, it almost goes and makes your body a fat burning machine, because especially if like because the easiest way to learn how to fast is just do it overnight. You know, you're asleep for a good bit, hopefully. And if you start eating a little less later, so earlier in the day, and then just like you stop at 8, 7, 6, you know, and then from 6 to 6 the next month, already 12 hours. You're already, I mean, that's a big part of it. But yeah, man. I mean, people are different. I know a lot of people that do the small meals, and that works for them. Same with like different food diets. So like vegan. I have a friend who I work with. He's a creative director, and he's been vegan for almost, I want to say 2 years, 2.5 years. Works wonders for him, man. I mean, it's working for him, you know. I don't think I had the stones for it. I tried Whole30 halfway through December, and it was hard.
My dad's been going gluten-free and vegan. He tried vegan, but he still loves steak, so that didn't last very long.
Oh,
but
bro.
He's been in remission for cancer twice now.
Wow.
They took out a big part of his intestines. Like, it's been in his colon, like the big areas. It was his colon both times. So it helped him, but he's found a gentle balance, and the whole gluten-free thing is his new thing, which he's never really liked bread anyways. I'm just like, I can't not have that.
Yeah. I dig it, man. I dig it. It's really good. Ooh. Pasta, get out of town. Like once a month, I'd like to do pizza, but like an unbelievable size, you know, and with all the toppings. My favorite. It's my one time a month. Let me have it. Man. Yeah. It's crazy, man. So I mean, 2020. Are you trying to do more stuff, like working out more?
Yeah.
Like, what are your plans? Got goals?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a bicycle again. My bike got stolen, so I didn't ride it as often.
Oh shit! I'm sorry to hear that.
And that riding that again would help a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, just do that and try and eat better. Eventually, quit smoking. That's
smoking
cigarettes.
Ah, I didn't realize. I always forget you smoke cigarettes. How often do you smoke?
Medium. Like, I'm not like a pack a day or anything. It's like maybe a half pack a day. Like,
I gotcha. Well, you got it, man.
It's nothing crazy. It's just every so often. Like, I tried to not get a pack yesterday, and last night and today kind of rubbed me as if somebody was leaving. I'm like, please stop at a gas station. Here's money. Like,
is that right? So just you really crave it.
Yeah.
It's like,
after a while, like, I can go away with it. Like, I've quit for like 3 months before, but still there's like a trigger. Like, as soon as you're in the right circumstances.
Oh, I know.
Alcohol's usually involved. It's like
lubricating your inhibitions. Yeah.
Or just, I mean, cigarettes with booze are just like peas and carrots. Like,
yeah. I mean, I smoked for, a year, and then off and on for like 3, 4, and off and on, I mean, like one pack would last me a month. It would be rare, and it would honestly, just to have like certain situations. It's weird because unfortunately, like with, I think it was Steak and Shake, you only get a break if you smoke. So I was like, I guess I'm smoking. But and I would smoke Lucky Strikes, dude. So like they would kill me.
I wanted to be a badass. I started on Camel Unfiltered.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't even think they'll sell those anymore.
Oh man,
that was rough.
It's crazy. A lot of people they say that, these tobacco companies have stopped, and I think that's why they're trying to take over the Juul and everything. What'd you think about that crap? Because I mean, the cartridges, dude, they can be fucked up, right?
No, the only ones that have messed anybody up have been like black market weed cartridges.
Yeah,
like,
but how do you know? Like,
they tested them. They
No. I'm not saying that, but how do you know whether you get them? Like, don't they look alike, and aren't they?
They look alike, but like you can see sometimes by like how they burn or how they taste, like, and knowing where they come from. Like, that's a big part of it. Like, I know people who make their own, but do it the right way,
right?
And so, I mean, I know those are fine.
I gotcha. So you had like the source.
Yeah, because it's like there's essentially what it is like when you make, however you break it down, some things like that some people have been using are oil based, and the oil, like when you breathe it in, it like coats the inside of your lungs, and
that's how people get fucked up.
Yeah,
it's like vitamin E or some shit.
Yeah,
and that's a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way it burns. That's fucked up, dude. Yeah, like
That's why everything should be legal and it could be regulated.
I would prefer that. I would prefer that. I mean, more than happy with that shit. I mean, the stigma is already going away. Like, that's why one reason I'm not really worried about that kind of shit, especially on camera. Come on, who doesn't smoke? I walk out of this fucking apartment every day, and here, there, upstairs, downstairs, in the fucking trails, all you smell is weed. Everyone smokes. And dude, there are cops everywhere. The cops live here. And all you smell is weed. I don't see I just don't get it. I mean, it's money.
It's just a lot of people, still with a lot of stigma, because it's my biggest problem with politics is there should be term limits, because there's people that have had very weird ideas for a really long time that are still where they're at because that's their career and they have made it a profession to keep that job.
Are we getting into politics, Jim?
A little bit.
Are we going to start? Because, oh man, it's
we're talking about something being legal or not. It's like, in the middle of it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's been a year. Do you follow any of that? The race, like the Democratic nominee race?
I have a little bit, but I'm tired of watching the circuses. Like,
yeah, they
just
are.
Like, I'll see it when it comes down to it. Cause
okay, I can dig it.
I'm independent. I think they're all horrible.
Every one of them is terrible.
Yeah.
Really? There's not one that you're into.
I love Bernie, but I don't know if he'll survive.
He's doing well.
He is. He was robbed last time.
Yeah. Well, to me, that's one thing that, old habits must die hard, dude, because the DNC is not doing anyone any favors except their own.
No, yeah. Like, that's why, like, even, like, during when it was Hillary and Trump, it was just, like, I felt, like, safer that Trump won because, like, both of those two people are going to do horrible things.
They were both terrible terrible candidates
One's
already.
going to be really, really good at covering up, and we won't find out about it for decades. The other one's going to be really stupid about doing it, and everyone's going to see it.
I would prefer the latter, to be honest.
Yeah, and point out what a ridiculous system it is. Anyways, like, I love that all this impeachment stuff is happening because it's just showing how wackadoo you can take this system.
But the thing is that they picked the worst fucking thing to pin on him.
Yeah, no, it's just,
out of all the other shit.
Yeah, because I mean, it's all been just a show, and then they finally have something.
Oh, it's this phone call, the uranium. It's stupid.
Yes, and even on top of that, like, everyone involved in the phone call said that it wasn't that way. Like, even if they're lying, like, they're still taking these transcripts and implying, like, or saying, like, oh, well, it was implied. Like, I didn't feel it was, neither did I. But no, we heard what you said. Like, it was implied.
But that's my biggest issue with the whole damn thing, because in my mind, everyone's being a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Regardless of how you feel about either party, I think it's fair to say that both of them, because basically there's two, they both have made the same mistakes. So what they're blaming Trump on, everything like that, pressuring another government in order to leverage some political gain. What's odd is that that's what Trump was saying Biden was doing, which he totally was.
Yeah, like, why is this on the board of an energy company when that has nothing to do with anything he's ever done?
For another country.
Yeah, and everybody's so wrapped up in this impeachment thing, nobody's brought that up again.
It's
like,
fucking
it's just like,
crazy.
How did that get brushed under the rug?
It's unreal, man. I wonder why. It's getting brushed under the rug.
Every time these crazy things happen, like, do you know about the Panama Papers? Of course you don't, because it came out when one of those crazy Trump news spin cycles was happening during that election, during the Clinton Trump election, and it got brushed under the table. There's a movie on Netflix with Antonio Banderas and Gary Oldman about laundering money.
This sounds like an amazing movie.
Yeah, it's about laundering money.
Okay.
But it's about the Panama Papers. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it was.
Is it like the Pelican Brief?
Yeah, it was a leak of all these, like, shell corporations, like, kind of crumbled, and, like, the records got leaked to the press.
That is the Pelican Brief, isn't it? Isn't that the same story?
I don't remember the Pelican Brief, like, at all.
Great movie. But the Panama Papers is a real thing.
Yeah, like, it ended up, like, a bunch of politicians, like, in Europe had to step down because it was shown like they had been, like, shoveling funds in weird places.
That would never happen today.
But there was a lot of people like involved with the Clintons on those lists, like, and Trump for that matter. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody had a connection to that because it was that big. And
God.
that movie did a really good job of explaining it and breaking it down.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
I'm going to have to find it, man. I've been into watching older films just to see. I watched one with Eddie Murphy. I can't remember the name, but he was a hostage negotiator. And it was just so good in the most cheesiest way, man. It was nuts. But I have to watch the Panama Papers, dude. But that would never fly today.
A hostage negotiator.
Yes.
Like, was it a Beverly Hills Cop?
No, I don't think so. I think it was another one. Yeah, it had to have been, but I'll have to look it up and tell you. I don't
because
know.
I'm thinking, like, I've seen a lot of Eddie Murphy movies. That was not ringing a bell.
He plays a hostage negotiator, and I'm having trouble remembering for some reason what it's all about. But it was really good. I'll have to give it to you, man. But yeah, that whole Panama Papers thing. So you're saying they leaked all the information out, and a lot of people were involved, Clinton's included.
Help me out.
That would never. I have no idea, bro. This is the wrong time and place.
Dang it.
He's trying to get me
I
to
just realized
sign
I have
into my
no-
Wi-Fi.
I just realized I had no service down here.
Yeah, it's horrible
that's why
here.
I didn't get the email.
Let me say right now, fuck Sprint, dude. I've been with Sprint for
Yeah,
years.
I've got Sprint too.
Fuck them. Fuck them and fuck this.
This
is,
anti-plug brought to you by...
I think that's what this show is about, man. Is just telling all the people.
This show's not brought to you by Sprint.
Thanks, Sprint. They're terrible. Horrible service.
It depends. Like, some places I have better service than other people. It's just weird how they do the towers. And they're the only ones that do unlimited data, so...
They're not anymore.
Really?
Yeah, you just have to pay a premium. It's funny, like Verizon and AT&T, it's a piece of shit, but they have more coverage. They charge you a premium for going unlimited. That's all it is. But Sprint's already expensive, I think.
I'm grandfathered in from a plan from like the freaking
5 years ago.
Oh, from like the 2000, like the 90s almost. Like, I've been like, I have the same phone number I had in high school.
Oh,
and, like,
my God.
I graduated 2004.
You graduated 2004?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
Oh, my God. You're the age of Jesus. When he got really popular for some reason. What was that about?
It's because he was hung like this.
Oh, dude, you did a thing. Oh, Lord. That was good. That was good. Jesus. Oh, look at that. I said his name again. One more time and he'll appear. I got to stay away. Not really a religious person, are you?
Nah, I'm more agnostic than anything.
Yeah?
It's just
That's like there's something out there, but what the fuck is it?
yeah, essentially. Like,
That's fair.
I mean, when you start looking at most religions, a lot of them have a lot of similarities, and they just,
They're all just stories.
yeah. And it's just half the time people who say, like, I have to take everything literal, skim over, like, the really messed up stuff that, like, because it was written about hundreds of years ago and we found better ways to do things. Like,
Yeah. All by men,
yeah.
like 40 of them or some shit.
Yeah, like, I believe it's good. It serves a purpose. Some people need faith. Some people need a higher power to believe in.
I'm cool with that.
Like,
I'm cool with that.
You do you. Just leave me alone.
Sure. So, yeah, you're not a fan of people trying to convert.
No.
You don't want to be a Mormon, man?
No. No.
You sure?
Not at all. I will not subscribe to the Watchtower.
I can't, man. I can't. I don't know. I was like, my dad was a preacher, and I was a preacher's kid all my life and all that. And I got really into, the church crazy when I was younger. That's what they do. They get young people in, and then because young people are young people, they'll get like really all about it, and they'll talk shit. And now I cringe when I think about what I said. It's nuts.
Listening to Newsboys and DC Talk.
Jesus fuck.
No, Freak. It's called Jesus Freak. That's
Well, I'm glad we're cursing now. I was hoping we wouldn't curse too much in the first 60 seconds.
It's the name of the DC Talk song.
I didn't know that.
Jesus Freak.
Oh my God. I listened to Carmen. You ever heard him?
No.
He's like a Spanish dude that did English tunes, and they were all like super high budget.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Crazy dude. And then he did movies. It's nuts, man. I heard he had cancer too. I think he's doing okay. I whenever you think of someone, whether a movie star or something that you grew up with, and you're like, how's that guy doing? That's what I did, and I was like, "Oh shit, Carmen's got cancer." I think it's in remission, though. I think it's okay.
I like alliteration.
That's my life, man. That's my life. That's all life's about. Alliteration. Nah, but not so much religious anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I don't know. Maybe I need it. Maybe that's how I talk to people. Now we've come full circle. Look at that.
I'm an ordained minister though.
I think you've told me that.
Yeah, in the Dudist church.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Dudism is a sanctioned religion in some states. I can perform marriages and funerals.
Oh my God. Like, is there something that is unique to the Dudist?
Actually, it's like based on loosely on Taoism, like of just saying fuck it.
Just fuck it.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, I can see you that way.
Yeah, White Russian in one hand, joint in the other, flip flops in a bathrobe.
Oh my Lord.
Talking about how the Eagles suck.
It's funny, man. I watched that movie and I can understand why it's become so culturally known. But at the same time, I feel like it's not the best Coen Brothers film.
Nah.
Out of all the ones that get noticed so much, that's the one. It's just wild.
Just because at the time it hit a vein right there that's carried over to a bunch of other generations. Like our favorite ones were like when we were at that time, like, and ones he made afterwards. I mean, like what were the great ones before it?
You're talking about the Coen Brothers?
Yeah.
When was the movie made?
90.
Oh, what 90s?
Yeah. Big Lebowski was 90s, late 90s.
Jesus.
I think.
Then they made Fargo.
Look it up. You got a laptop. We just confirmed that I have no network here.
I mean, the thing is, though.
You think I remember facts anymore? I've had a phone for like a decade. Like, Google is my backup memory. Like, you push that out because you can just look for it really quick.
You're asking me to do something while I'm inebriated. It's very difficult. You are right, dude. It's 1998. Jesus Christ. Joel and Ethan Coen, both the writers and the fucking directors. And yeah, it's a good movie. I like it. But if you look at their directorial, what is the word I'm looking for? Catalog. I don't know, man.
Didn't they do Raising Arizona?
They did do Raising Arizona. Yes.
That was a good one.
So, I mean, in their repertoire.
But it wasn't as, like, iconic as Lebowski was.
Okay, so The Big Lebowski. You're talking. You just said look at the up until that point. Okay, so right before that, they did Fargo. Before that, they did the Hudsucker Proxy. That's one I never fucking seen. I did see Barton Fink. I thought that was good. Miller's Crossing, also good. Raising Arizona. They did a few more before, but the ones I'm talking about, like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Right after The Big Lebowski. That to me is like way.
Well, I mean, it was a country version of the Homer's Odyssey. Like,
I love that.
And it was great, but it's not like The Big Lebowski was just so offbeat, like, and weird
For the time.
Yeah. Like that.
I was 8 years old.
And there was nothing else kind of like that. Like it was just nuts.
Yeah. It's a nuts movie.
And the dude was just such a character because everyone knows a guy that's got a little dude in him. Everyone knows a guy who's got a little Walter in him. Like, who takes everything way too seriously.
Fucking John Goodman, man. I love John Goodman.
Yeah, or the friend that like he thinks he's helping, but he's just really making everything a lot worse. But
Yeah.
he's just so confident and sure that.
Oh my God. Talk about a guy I would love to have a conversation with, because he's done some of my favorite movies. But
Righteous Gemstones is great.
I have to finish it. I watched the first three. I was into Barry, dude. Talk about a phenomenal show.
Yeah, I gotta finish. I got like first season and a little into the second on Barry.
We're talking about HBO. So
Yeah.
the question has to be brought up.
Hate to just be sucking HBO's dick for a minute, but
Do it.
They've been killing it.
You think so?
I've liked everything HBO. Like
Everything?
a lot of things. Like
Because they did something big last year, that a lot of people did not like.
I didn't like the way they ended it, but that's more on them, giving them everything they freaking want, thinking they can do no wrong. Like
I liked it. I'm saying it now. Fuck everyone that didn't like it. I'm just kidding, man. I thought it was fine. I thought it was good, decent, because it had all the things I like in a story where they show and they don't tell. I think that's a lot of people's problem with it because the last 2 episodes there wasn't quite a bit of dialogue.
It's just that her whole personality change was so fast.
I don't think so. I disagree.
No, she went from being like the good guy to the bad guy, like at the drop of a hat. So they still had the oh my god factor to it, and like there was no progression into it.
I gotta disagree, man. I mean, I can see how how did you watch the show, week after week?
Yeah,
did you binge it?
No, it was. I've never got to binge it.
Do you think that could have something to do with it?
The first season, I think, was the only one I got to binge.
Do you think that could have something to do with it?
Possibly, but like I mean, it was the thing. You can't have anybody spoil it for you, so you have to keep up with it. Or ignore everybody and everything for the next week. Like,
I understand. I think if you were to watch
I read the books too, so.
Well, that's the thing too. That one thing I have to admit is I started reading the first book, and I love how vivid, the opening is. Especially the scene. This is the first scene he wrote, where it's like Jon Snow finding that wolf. In the book, it's mystical, man. But it like sets up so much, and in the show, in comparison, pretty weak. I like the show.
Yeah, but and the show up to a point, like they were great when they were, scene for scene ripping off the book, like, and they weren't deviating. It's when they started deviating that things got a little.
Yeah.
But I mean, anytime you got that many people into something, it's gonna cause nobody's gonna like it. It's the Star Wars effect. Like,
sure,
you get that many people that feel that strongly about it. Like,
I have to know.
There's no way they're gonna try and please everybody, and you end up pleasing no one.
I can dig it, man. I can dig it.
Except for you, obviously.
I loved it. I was sold.
I loved the Too Dark episode. What the DP's response was, like, I shot it, so I know it wasn't too dark. You just have crappy TVs, plebes. Like, adjust thine settings.
Is that how you felt?
Yeah, like that was essentially like the interview that they did. Like, you just see, like, no, this is.
You agreed?
No, like I thought it was way too dark. Like I saw somebody brightened it up in After Effects, and some of the detail I saw, like they were some beautiful shots that you couldn't tell. Like I understand what they were going for, but there's more ways of doing that.
I can dig it. It's a weird scenario because I watched it both ways. The way where, I didn't tune my TV, obviously, apparently. And I readjusted the way that they did the brightening up. Because it's not too crazy. You're really just bumping up the contrast slightly, bringing up the brightness, and then raising the highlights. At least I found that's what worked on my TV. And I agree with you. Like, there was some beautiful composition. Like, whoa, mystical shit. And I liked both, man. But the thing is I watched it in the complete darkness anyway. My big problem is that I want to have the whole series in 4K. I want to see everything. It's funny because I started watching the first few episodes. The way those look compared to the way the last season looked, night and fucking day.
Oh, completely.
Night and fucking day. And everyone was so young. They're all baby face motherfuckers.
I mean, I'm trying to, like, I can't even get into that because it's like I had argued about Game of Thrones so long ago. I already put that past me. I came to terms with it.
Long time ago. Well, then, you said you like the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, so spoiler territory. 3, 2, 1. Rey saying she's Rey Skywalker. Yeah. What the fuck, dude?
No, that's awesome. And they worked in something Clone Wars at the end, if you noticed.
They, how so?
Her lightsaber.
Oh, shit. I thought you meant with the talking from all. To me, that was more Avatar. I love that. I'll be honest. I really enjoyed that.
When she buries the 2 lightsabers at the end, she's got the yellow lightsaber. That's the Guardian's lightsaber. So, and that's why she's not aligning light or dark. She's the guardian of the balance. Like,
oh my God.
Like, it's making that canon, and it's a cool way to just end her.
I'm cool with that.
I love how they went straight into Palpatine off the rip. like we were put this in the trailer. Everyone knows it's coming. Why wait any further? And I like that they went that direction because it ties the entire 9 movies together. Like, they shouldn't call it the Skywalker saga. It's the Palpatine saga because he is the one constant. behind everything.
I don't know, man. I'm not against it. Again, I'm not against it. I'm cool. It's all for me. It's all about a good story. It can be Teletubbies. It can be Star Wars. It's all about the good story.
But we cannot no longer talk about Star Wars until you watch the end of The Mandalorian. I'm sorry. It's just
come on, man. I want to talk about this whole Rey Skywalker shit. You did not smile when that shit happened. Did you not laugh? Because I could not hold myself back.
Let's say laughed.
I just couldn't believe that. It was just, for me, wow. I would have loved to see the read everyone's face when they did that.
Oh, my jaw dropped when they fake killed Chewie. Like, I was just like, no.
They should have did it. Grow some fucking balls, man. I was like, whoa, J.J. Abrams got his balls dropped finally. Jesus. And no, he's fucking fine. Gee. What? Make a decision.
Oh, there would have been some very, very strong opinions.
Really?
The internet would have. If they killed Chewie like that,
He's been in so many of the films. Let the fucker die. Wouldn't it make it better as a character? Wouldn't you care about him more knowing his fate?
Yeah, as an adult, but there's kids who watch this shit too.
Come on, man.
Star Wars was made for us as children. Like, it needs to.
Well, here's my biggest issue with that, because the people that are paying for the tickets aren't fucking kids.
See, we don't have kids. We don't have to explain to them about death when fuckers want to put this shit on in family movies.
It should be in movies. We need to normalize it. We can't fear it. All right, it's gonna happen.
But then people got to talk to their kids and they get mad.
That's a real fucking Western thing. You know that, man? That's why, like, if I was religious and think about any kind of idea, if I were to attach myself to one that I would be, I wouldn't be maybe Christian just because I was raised that way. But idealistically, I like Buddhism, man. I like reincarnation. I think that is just, why the fuck not? You know, like,
I like the concept of balance.
Yeah. And then the goal being to just stop, because eventually your candle blows out and that's it. And here in the West, that's a scary fucking thing, you know, because you're like, heaven or hell or good or bad. Whoa, man, what's going to happen? You should care. Over there, it's like, we're done. We're spent, man. Let's sleep. I like that. I like that.
Well, that's the other good thing about it too, is like you can be a Buddhist and be practice another religion too. Like, it's just,
is that right?
Yeah, it's very open. Like, it's like this one. There's so many different sects, and because they don't have really firm beliefs. Like, people have never gone to war over Buddhism. Like, it's
that we know of.
Yes, from recorded history, since we know that religion was started. I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting, man. I didn't know that.
It's like the only peaceful religion that actually stayed peaceful, because
they're just like, fuck it, man.
Yeah, you have to be at one with it. Like.
That's such a Buddhist thing to say. Huh. Okay, man. All right. Well,
what else we got on the list?
We've went through quite a bit, I gotta say, and I wrote down a lot of shit. I won't lie to you, man. Because, I mean, it was just a lot about movies and video games and how awesome and how terrible they were. We kind of just glazed through them, you know? But, I mean, I'd like to end it on, let's do a positive note, dude. Are you down?
If you can find one, let's do it.
Well, I mean, this year everyone's going crazy about New Year's resolutions and bullshit. It's 2020.
Yeah, glad we didn't talk about World War III.
Dude, the only thing to talk about is that it's like the meme on day 3 of fucking 2020. Because what was it? It was like, the first day was fine. The second day, Australia is on fire. You know, it's the size of Manhattan. Shit. Number 3, World War III. Of course it is. I love the memes. Did you see the ones I shared?
No, I haven't been on the last few days. I saw one before I got off, and it was a picture of Rick from the Heist episode of the season.
I have not seen it. I like to binge, man.
I know. But you have 5 until next month.
Next month, is that right?
Yeah.
I'll wait for 10. I'm cool.
But it's basically just him like a sucker in his mouth, and it's a line he says in it, because basically makes fun of heist movies for the whole episode. And he's like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." That's like, this is what the meme
And that's
is.
where the meme comes
Yeah,
from.
but then the like right above it, it just says Germany tomorrow, or Germany after it starts.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, man. Nah, like, so meme aside, is there anything you want to do
What?
this year? Is it a big deal for you, the 2020 thing?
Not really. They didn't bring Barbara Walters out of retirement to
There you go.
give us "This is 2020."
That's
so,
right. That's right.
It's already let me down.
It's just
That's
it's
all I
already
really want.
started with the disappointment.
Yeah. No, not really.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't like making resolutions and stuff like that. I always just feel like it's just an excuse to break them, because it's just like everyone breaks New Year's resolution. Like, it's an arbitrary day.
Okay. I can dig it. I'm in the middle camp, I feel, where enough, because to me, you can either go cringy or just not care. I like to be right there in the middle. I'm a romantic guy. Why not? Why not just try? And this is something I wanted to do. I talked about it for a while, and it's tough, man, making content. Have you ever delved into that?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Like I dabbled with some blogs for a while, a long time ago. None of them
Written.
are up anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, something to rant about on a regular basis. Like,
Rant?
Yeah, I mean,
Like stuff that just bothered you or stuff?
Yeah, it was really just slice of life, just observations. I didn't do it that long, but it's cohesion. I mean, just like think about what do you like to sit and listen to? Like every podcast people gravitate to for a different reason. Like
Sure.
Joe Rogan, because it's always going to be comedians and funny and talk about fucked up shit, or if it's something like movie related, because this director's going to be giving an interview. Like, I think if we did like another one of these at some time, we should do it on like what the film industry is really like from working side, because nobody ever talks to ACs about what it really is.
I mean,
like schlepping gear and shooting shit.
You can go in it if you want.
No, that's like a huge. Like,
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, that would be. I think that's like something like
Long form. Well, that's one thing I got to say I like about this is that it's long form. Because every year for the past 5 years since I started where I'm working now, I've tried to get something off the ground. Because in my mind, everyone's fucking creating shit online, monetizing, and then making that their life, making themselves their brand. And so tried it 1 year with shorts, tried it 1 year with sketches, tried it 1 year with just helping other people with their shit. Tried it 1 year where, I just focused on myself. And this year, one thing I'd like to do is just what we just did for, dude, almost an hour and a half. Can you believe that shit? That's a fucking
like
feature
that.
film, bro.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty dope. And it's done. Like, we'll just stop recording and then upload it, and that's it. That's content, long form content, free. That to me it's pretty powerful stuff, because, and forgive the setup, I wanted to have 3 cameras, and get like a Black Magic switcher, and then like have it while we were doing this.
Just gonna live direct it.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy what we can do just in such a small platform. Honestly, I have the cameras. I just needed the switcher, But I like that it's 1 camera, and I think I may just keep it that way for a while. But yeah, dude, like I think just this will maybe relieve a little stress itself and give me an excuse to talk to some cool people, bro.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was talking about. I was going to talk about walking into this.
Yeah? What were you thinking? This Homero fucker, I swear. Always wanting to do shit.
She's like, oh, he's like, I can smoke weed. Okay, I'll think of something to do.
There you go.
We'll talk about something.
Yeah, man. I like the way this has went. I'm all about it. I had all this shit. Next time I'm just going to do like a 3-list thing and then just go. That'll be much easier because I like how off the cuff it is. Yeah. I don't know, man. So any last words? Anything to say while we roll out? Because honestly, it's just going to cut. No fade to black. Nothing. It's just going to start and it's just going to end.
No. I can't think of anything.
Nothing.
I'm a total blank.
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 I think next time we do this, you should drop some acid. Because I wonder, like, do you find yourself talkative? We've both been pretty talkative with weed. And I've only ever done weed. I've never done anything else. Do other drugs make it so, like, one, you're more talkative, or one, you're more withdrawn? Because
it depends. Like, different people are affected by different things.
Okay.
Almost universally, everyone's going to be more talkative on cocaine. That's just goes the territory there.
I see.
Ask any stand-up comic you've ever heard.
Uh-huh.
But like a lot of times when people do hallucinogens, like, you can either be like outgoing and cool, weird conversations. Sometimes you can get in your own head and just retreat. It just kind of all depends.
Yeah.
It depends on how used to you are doing it. Like, I feel like people who have done it more often get more like you're outspoken about it.
Yeah.
Because they're just like they've gotten that fun ride out. They're just gonna feel fun.
I dig it. Okay. Yeah, man. Maybe one day I might get into the hallucinogen.
Just do a little bit, like microdosing, like that. Like if
you'll have to supervise.
If you do it on a small enough scale, you won't even notice that you're doing it until you realize, you know, I've been unhappy and in a good mood for a while.
Like,
this
how
is
long?
Weird.
How long do those last? Half hour?
Oh no.
Not even that long?
No longer than that. Like, acid's usually like 8 hours, 6 to 8
I'm
hours.
talking about microdosing.
Oh, microdosing, it still lasts the same amount of time.
Jesus.
It's not as strong of an effect.
So if I were to take the smallest amount of acid
Yeah, that's what microdosing is taking the smallest amount that will slightly affect your mood.
for 8 hours?
Yeah. Doing it like, you know, take like once in the morning, once at night. Like, and actually like living
It's a
in
good
that
prescription.
state. Yeah.
That sounds interesting. I didn't know that. Is it like that with like shrooms?
Yeah, you can do the same thing with shrooms.
But would it last the same amount of time?
Shrooms usually don't last as long, and they're because it's more organic. It's more hit or miss. Like there's a bigger variation of how it's going to affect people.
I see.
I like everyone's afraid of acid. I've always been more comfortable with it, like because I know what it is.
It's because of the movies. You know, you think you're gonna have.
Oh no!
like,
the first time, like I was just like, "What is gonna happen?" And I was like, "Oh, that's what this is." Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like the devil, dude. You know, I've always. I don't know.
I've just never been a very like visual person on stuff. Like I've never like really like I've seen like, you know, weird stuff like light tracers or walls warping or stuff. But the only like true hallucinations I've ever had in my life are from sleep deprivation than anything I've ever taken.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been that sleep deprived.
I stayed up for like 3 weeks building a website one time.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
How are you alive?
It was like 2 weeks. Yeah. I don't know. Like
You got some sleep.
No. Like I might have
A
accidentally
minute.
maybe sitting in my chair, but like I was nonstop coding. Like at one point, like it looked like a cockroach popped up inside my keyboard, waved his hand and said hello, and then dove back into my laptop. When we didn't have roaches, and it was like I was on the second story, like, and this was a really skinny laptop. Like none of that could have been real. I was like, I should probably go lay down for a minute.
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever been that sleep deprived. The longest I've went is maybe 32 hours. Maybe. I was loopy.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. I kind of like trying it or just doing it for fun, just because it is a high. It's a weird kind of feeling, you know? Get all jittery, you know? And especially if I
said 3 weeks. It was 8 days. I'm stoned.
little discrepancy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna what's his face off NBC that one. The guy who got fired because he said he got shot down.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
he was the anchor for like everything, and then he lied about getting fired at in Iraq. And Brian Wilson.
Uh-huh.
There we go. I'm not gonna Brian Wilson the whole thing. That's
Okay, well, let's not Brian Wilson this thing either.
yeah.
All right, cool. I'm all about it. You good?
I'm good.
Dude, thank you so much for stopping by, man.
Thanks
I hope
for
you had a
having
good
me, man.
time.
I did, and I'm surprised at how much I talked about drugs. Let's hope that doesn't come back to bite me on the ass now that this is on the internet.
If it does, we will overcome cancel culture. And if anything, the only reason why it would work is because it got popular. So
Yeah. Yeah.
lean into it.
50-50, yeah. Okay.
Lean into
All right.
it. All right. I hope, everyone listening has a good 2020. I hope you do too. And definitely have to do this again, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, dude.
How much?
All right, man. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.